everyone. Hope you're having a great day, evening, morning, wherever you are. So, one of my interests is maritime. I'm a huge Titanic buff. I've seen all the Titanic movies more than once, more than twice, more than thrice. I love Titanic documentaries. I like ship documentaries, not just Titanic, but ocean liners, mostly ocean liners. Never been on one, would love to, been a dream of mine. But I have been able to see two retired ocean liners. One of them abandoned and one converted to a hotel. The one that was converted to a hotel is the Queen Mary, the RMS Queen Mary. Built in the 30s. It was retired in the late 60s, and it took a voyage. It did the England to the United States transatlantic voyage route. And when it retired, the city of Long Beach purchased it, and they sailed it. This last voyage, it sailed down south below the tip of South America, back around and up to California, Long Beach, where it's been ever since. And I got to go there and see that in person. Didn't get to go inside, but it was just amazing getting to see a piece of history that I've read about since I was a teenager. Another piece of history that I read about since I was a teenager was the SS United States, which still to this day holds the blue ribbon, which back in the days of transatlantic voyage, the fastest ship to get from the Europe to the United States or vice versa would receive this blue ribbon. And it'd be like a prestigious award and all that stuff. And the SS United States was the last ship that won that award, and it still holds that title to this day. And I remember studying that ship and watching a documentary called SS United States From Dream to Reality when I was a teenager, back in the 90s. And I even drew pictures of it, and what's interesting is these pictures that I drew was of it sinking. And I wish I still had those pictures, because I was big into Titanic back then, even built a Titanic model. Side note, first place at High School History Fair, honorable mention at the East Texas Regional Fair at ETBU. Side note. But with that being said, ironically, but at the time, I didn't even know the ship even still existed. I just loved its design, its sleek design, the funnels. It was just like my second favorite ship to the Titanic. Well, I discovered the ship actually still existed, and it was mothballed in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm like, OMG, I need to go and see that ship. So I had the opportunity in 2014, in September. I relocated from New York State, upstate New York, back down to Texas. And because that's where I'm from, Texas. And so I made the point to go out of the way to go over to Philadelphia because I wanted to see that ship in person. And of course, I didn't. It's like in a Navy yard, so it's not like I could go up to it. And the pictures that I took of the ship were at a distance, but nonetheless, just this piece of history that I've known since I was a teenager, child, more or less. Because when you're a teenager, you think you're grown. We've all been there. Piece of history, right? And then after moving back to Texas later on, a few years later, I learned there was actually a conservatory that was trying to save the ship, have it repurposed, headed by none other than the shipbuilders. I think it was her granddaughter. So the shipbuilder, the guy that designed the ship, his name was William Francis Gibbs. And I can't remember his granddaughter's name, but she's kind of operating this conservatory, and that was their goal. Well, because that ship has been in Pennsylvania for 30 years, and there are a whole generation that don't even know what it looks like without that ship, so it's going to look really weird to them. Well, fortunately, they got their eviction papers from the Navy, or the Naval Yard, I should say, and so they put the ship up for sale. Well, it's been up for sale for developers, but they got an offer from Destin, Florida, the county over Destin, Florida, to purchase the ship and to sink it as an artificial reef. Yeah, not too happy about that, but at least it's still being preserved, not being scrapped in a cheap, filthy, low-income, foreign scrapyard where the metals are going to be sold to China. And y'all don't go griping about that on the chat. But nonetheless, it's on it. As of this video, today is February the 25th. And as of this video, it is making its way down to Mobile, Alabama by tow. Its final voyage. First time it's been in the Atlantic in over, what, 30 plus years. And I'm seeing pictures and videos. I'm sure you've seen it. If not, do a Google search, do a YouTube search. And there's tons. I mean, with all the support, I'm surprised. I really am surprised that some developer hasn't came up. But it's on its way to Mobile and to make the final preparations to prepare it for sinking. And I really want to go down and see it in Mobile. Even again, if it's at a distance, I really want to go down there and see it because I got to see it in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I want to see it again in Mobile, Alabama, which is close to where I live now, which is more feasible. And then once they get it ready for sinking, and I think part of it is they're going to remove all the windows out of the ship. And there's, like, I guess down in the machinery, get rid of all that stuff, power wash everything, so there's no oil or anything like that, whatever fuel they used back then. And then once they're finished, they're going to take it and sink it. And from what I'm understanding, don't quote me on this, but the last I remember reading was they're planning a land-based museum in Destin. And the museum is going to incorporate, I thought they said the bridge, one of the funnels, and the main mast that's like on top of the bridge, which would be pretty cool. So when they sink it, there's really going to be one funnel. It has two funnels right now, and they're humongous. Huge! Humongous. So, that being said, enough chatter. Now I'm going to show you the pictures that I've taken of the SS United States.